Hello and welcome to another episode of your Aligned as Fuck Life with Shalvika. And today's episode is, oh my god, so fucking juicy because I sat down with my friend, with my fellow business coach, Sonia Motwani, and we dove deep into what it takes to be worthy, visible, and fucking well paid as an entrepreneur, as a female entrepreneur. And it is honestly one of my favorite conversations so far. So tune in and get ready to be worthy, visible, and paid.
Okay, yeah,
Hi. Okay. So I think it's great that we are recording this. I think this the conversation that we were having needed to be recorded. So I'm very glad that we are just doing this. Um so yeah, we were literally like Sonia and I were talking about our journeys as entrepreneurs, our journeys that have taken us to build these businesses. And we just thought that we want to record this. So that's what we're
yeah.
doing.
It's so crazy. It just hit me. It's so fucking crazy that we have built this entire business, being at
Yeah.
home, running it at our own comfort, through our
Yeah.
brains, from our brains, literally the ideas that we have received from our
Yeah.
brains and executing on them and working on them and believing in those ideas. It's so fucking amazing to be
Yeah.
alive in such time and age where we are
Yeah.
building businesses out of nothing, just a simple, plain idea and that spirit and that fire that this is possible. Let's go. Let's see what's happening. Let's figure it
Yeah.
out.
And then we get to take those ideas and we get to help like so many women also fucking own their power. I think that's for me, that's something that I feel, and I know you do too, like so grateful for specifically coming from where we come from, the lineages that we where we come from. Like if you look at it, like our dadis, like my dadi doesn't even have an Aadhaar card, like it has been such a like now after my grandfather passed away, she needs to like take over his accounts, is when we realized that she doesn't even have an Aadhaar card. Like forget having a bank account. Like that's what we are building. Like we're building fucking legacies and we're helping people, women build the same. And that's amazing. But anyway, I think let's just kind of,
Yeah,
since we are recording this, let's introduce ourselves. So do you wanna
yeah,
go first? Tell us a
exactly.
little bit
Okay.
about you, what you do, what makes your heart sing, and your business, of course.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so hi, I am Sonia. I'm Sonia Motwani, and I'm from a very small town in India. And what make my heart sing is really helping women see their fucking power and build business doing what they love without sacrificing their time, without sacrificing or choosing between being present with their families or making money. I really love the end philosophy that you can build a business and be present. You can build a business and fucking read a fiction book on Wednesday afternoon. You can be present and go on vacation and holidays. You can be making money while also helping so many other women realize their inner power, helping them understand their bodies. Like the way I think about the ripple effect of our work is so beyond our wildest imagination because we are not just touching one life through our coaching, but the lives of all the people we might never meet them, and that is wild. You know,
Yeah,
our clients will carry the coaching to their
yeah,
families, to their clients, and then it creates such a ripple effect of
yeah,
all the transformation. It's wild. So I
yeah,
really love women making money. That is it. Nothing in the world gives me this thrill than really
yeah,
helping women go out, make money,
yeah,
build your own voice, like just
yeah.
expand yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. And I
Yeah.
just want to kind of also add to that is I think like when you talked about the ripple effect, right? It's also how it's going to be carried forward in their lineage and in their generations to come. Right? Like they're going to teach this to their daughters, right? Like you and I, we are cycle breakers, and of course we'll talk a little bit about that. But we are also enabling others to break their own versions of cycles and generational curses, patterns, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's insane. Okay, anyway, so let me introduce myself. So, hi everyone, I'm Shalvika Patil. I live in Pune. I am an engineer by training. I think so is Sonia, right?
I'm also Indian.
Like every person in India, right? We are engineers. We started off as engineers.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I started my business 6 years ago because I felt like I was climbing the corporate ladder, right? I had everything that I was told I'm supposed to have. The checklist was working. Like I was married to the love of my life. I had a car. We had, everything that you're supposed to have by the time you're 30. And still, there was this voice in my head that just felt like, is this it? Like, is this enough? Can there be more? So what I do today is I don't just help people transform identities and manifest their dream life, but I also help them do that while bringing alignment, while constantly asking themselves, who am I and what is it that I want? Rather than being like, okay, I'm this age, I'm supposed to want this, right? And that's the crux of the business that I have built. I like to look at myself as someone who helps people alchemize their identities and take their identities and like use it to build the life that they want, build themselves up to their dream version. And yeah, I love doing that. I honestly love doing that. And I love that I get to work with so many varied people, right? Because identity is something that everyone has. And of course, we will talk a little bit about that. So where do we want to go from here, Sonia? What do you feel like? Where should we go next?
Yeah, let's talk stories, let's talk
Yeah.
about the stories that led us here, that led us to where we are today. Because it did not happen by any accident. And we
Oh,
did not have anything figured out when we started business. This is something many of my clients come and they're like, how did you know that you're going to build a 1 crore business? Or how did you know that you are
yeah,
going to have clients? You
yeah.
don't.
You don't. Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't know the how, but you do have that unwavering belief and faith that this is what I want to do and I'm
yeah,
doing it. And because especially I come from a very toxic workplace, I
yeah,
had no option going back. I was
yeah.
like, this is it. This is my life. I'm fucking going to figure it out. Whatever,
Right.
whatever it costs, whatever it demands from me, because
Yeah,
this is my one single life and I'm going to live it on my terms. I'm going to do something that truly makes my heart sing and makes me feel joyful. It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
just about the money that we are making, it's also the way we are making money and
yeah,
how this journey has shaped us. You talk about identities.
yeah,
So tell me how this journey has shifted you. Let's talk about that, our own identity.
yeah, yeah. I think I'll tell you the biggest, like right now, as you ask me this question, right? Like the biggest identity that I've broken and reformed for myself is if like any of the listeners are from India or they're familiar with the state of Maharashtra, that's where I'm from. I'm a Maharashtra, I'm a Marathi person. And if you've known any Marathi people, this is gonna be very weird, okay, Sonia, but most Marathi people believe that businesses can be run by Gujaratis, Marwadis, Sindhis. Maharashtrians can't run businesses. Marathi people suck at running businesses. And that's the belief that I actually grew up with. So I knew, even though I had a job, I knew that I wanted to do something of my own. I wanted to be my own boss more than anything else. I didn't want that condition of time placed on me. Like you said, I wanted to be able to sit and read on a Wednesday afternoon. I wanted to wake up and like play a game on my PlayStation for like 3 hours and then get to work. I wanted all of those things, but it didn't feel possible because my identity was so linked to the community that I was born in, right? And I, as fate would have it, I ended up marrying a Marwadi. Most of my husband's family is businessmen. They are into business. And after looking at them closely, I realized that honestly, anything can be a business.
Exactly.
You,
Business has no gender,
yeah.
no caste, no system.
No
And
hierarchy of idea also, I feel like anything that's small or big. can become a business, right? And I think that, as you were asking me, I don't know why that was the identity shift that popped in my head, that, I'm someone who has built this massive business, even though till, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, I used to believe that people like me cannot run a successful business. And I just want to kind of point out here how our identities are not just about our current circumstances, where you may be in life, right? But they're also passed on to you. Like my identity that Marathi people can't run businesses was passed on to you, but to me by my community, right? By the community that I was raised in. So it's very essential to be able to sit and define whether anything is an absolute truth, a belief that you hold is an absolute truth, or it's just a circumstantial truth, if that makes
Exactly,
sense.
exactly. We think
Yeah.
everything is fact, even the thoughts
Yeah.
we are having, instead of thinking
Yes.
of them as written, something written on the stand and stone,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
if we just see as the fleeting in time, the sentence is fleeting in time that we
Yeah.
can blend and mold. And
Yeah.
when you were
Yeah.
talking about, that how Maharashtrian believe that Gujarati
Yeah.
and Sindhis are like, number one in business. Uh,
Yeah.
I am Sindhi and I live in Gujarat, so I grew up
You're
seeing.
according to my Marathi brain, you're the perfect business combination.
Yeah, but here's the twist. I grew up
Yeah.
watching men build business.
Yeah.
Gujarati and Sindhi, men can build business. There is no scope
Oh.
for girls to do it. In the
Mm.
culture, in the caste, where girls cannot own their own name, I'll tell you
Yeah.
this very heartbreaking fact. When a Sindhi girl gets married, her first name is taken from her. She has to change
Wait,
her first name.
first
Yeah,
name.
yeah. This is such a shocking truth to so many people out there, and literally it happens even in today's day and age. So you have to
I,
change your first
oh my
name.
God.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
in the
you're
system
erasing
where,
your entire identity.
exactly.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Okay, go on. Yeah.
And in this culture where even your first name is taken from you, I wanted to build something of my own. Like I was not willing to even give the first, second name. No, this is mine, And I wanted to build
Yeah,
something of my own. A
I
home,
love that.
a business, my
Yeah,
name, my identity, my personality, every single thing. You
yeah,
cannot just take it away from me.
yeah.
So,
So,
so
what do you
yeah, this
think?
is so,
Sorry,
yeah,
I just want to know, what do you think gave you that
yeah. You
strength
know,
or confidence, whatever you want to call it, right? What, there has to be something in you that drives you
yeah,
to do that. What do you think that was?
you're not ready to accept. That is it. Rebel, you may call,
I love
the
that.
girls
Yeah,
like, yeah. While
yeah,
growing up, especially in my teens,
yeah,
I faced so many challenges and I was called
yeah,
rebel and
yeah,
this you should just be uncasted and married off early. You
yeah,
need to have some sense, like be
yeah,
at home. Like people used to tell my mom the same things, that you have not taught your girl anything. She's just going out, bringing her opinion, talking and sitting with everyone and not being quiet and all those stuff, the labels
yeah,
that we are put onto. And I was
yeah,
not willing to accept any of that.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
that is something that helped me be this woman that I am today. I
yeah,
was not ready to accept what I was told, what I was given.
yeah.
The number one power, weapon, or strength that we women have is the ability to think and the ability to question every single thing that we are told.
And also the ability to create, I feel. We are the
Yeah,
original creators. We
yeah,
fucking give birth if we choose to, right? Like you can, like what you were talking about, right? Initially, that we have created these businesses out of nothing. We pulled ideas out of our fucking ass and like
exactly.
made them into empires. But that's the power that exists within each and every one of us, because we carry the power to give life. We carry the power to create from nothing. That's something that nature intended for us to do, right? And thank you for sharing that though. I think that's, yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
just want, everyone to listen, everyone who is listening, especially a woman who thinks that she is in the place where it's rock bottom, or she finds it hard to believe that something is possible for her. There is this
yeah,
desire, there is the whisper, and she is doubting, she's questioning. I just want her to know what's on the other side, how
yeah,
the other side looks like.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, when we talk about this, when we talk about going from where you are to going to the other side, there are a lot of changes that we need to bring in the way we look at ourselves, in the way we look at the rules that we have made for ourselves, because these are the rules that we've made for ourselves. Right? Like, I think we just before we started recording, we were talking about this idea of like how income is something that has to be monthly. Right? And I
Yeah.
know I'm just like jumping, but I feel like it's so important to question these rules that we have. So this was, I think, September 2022. And I had like this entire month planned. I knew what I was selling. I knew how I was selling it. I knew how I was marketing it. Everything went really smoothly. It was the end of September. I had sent out three contracts. Okay, three contracts for one-on-one clients, and none of them had signed it. I had followed up, but they hadn't signed. They hadn't paid the invoice. Like, I'm sure you relate to
Yeah.
that, right? So it's the end of the month, and I was like, I feel like I did everything right. I stuck by my plan. I marketed the shit out of my program. If these three people had signed it, I would have hit the revenue goal that I had, but they didn't. Maybe I should just like let this go and like start applying for corporate jobs again, because this is hard. And that's what happens, I think, to a lot of women, because we are sold this idea that, you know, business also has to be this way. You have to bring in an X amount of money every single month. For me, what happened was on 3rd of October or 4th of October, I don't remember, I woke up and a couple of those clients were from Australia. So they were actually up like 4 hours before I was up. And in those 4 hours, they signed the contract, they paid the invoice, and I actually ended up making more money than I had decided that I want to make in September. But because I had this arbitrary rule that this month has to be an X amount, it just felt like I had failed miserably. So I think that point that you were talking about, right? Like going from this side to going to the other side, I think it takes a lot of unlearning and breaking of rules and making your own rules. And I think that's where, you and I kind of come in, is how do we make those rules for ourselves, right? How do
Yeah,
we actually,
exactly.
yeah, jump there? Do you have any stories of like
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that you
You
had
know,
to,
want
yeah,
to add on to what you said
yeah,
about unlearning and
yeah,
breaking. It
yeah,
is ultimately death of an identity, a
oh
death of a
yes,
part of you who no
oh my
longer
God,
attaches
yes,
herself with
yes,
certain amount of money. And I had the
yes,
same philosophy, because when we are coming from the corporate to an entrepreneurship,
right,
especially when we don't go to any business school or we are not given that mindset training that this is
yeah.
not about monthly income that you hit. There will not be anyone to tell you like what to do when it's 28th of the month and you literally have made nothing, how to really be there and believe that
Yeah,
the money is fucking coming in even if it's
yeah,
31st. I
yeah,
had those months, when I would
yeah,
not be making anything for straight 25 days, and
yeah.
then on 30th and 31st the money comes in, and it's like equivalent to the entire yearly salary that I would have gotten from the
Oh
job.
my God. You know what? I
Yeah,
had one of these moments at the beginning of March because my December and January were kind of slow. And I knew there were contracted incomes. There
yeah,
were invoices that had gone out that hadn't been paid. And then, like, my Feb month ended up being like in just 1 month, I think I made something about 12 lakhs or something. And I was just thinking, when you are growing, right? When you're growing rapidly, it's very easy to not acknowledge these wins that you have,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I just had that realization that in that 1 month I actually made what I was making in my corporate job in like 2019 or something, right? And that itself, like, even reconciling with those identities is important. Like what you said, that the death of an identity, the letting go of that identity, that path that you could have chosen is important, but also reconciling of where you are at and acknowledging how far you have come. Even taking pause, so far as to go to take pause, like maybe 1 month, just don't do anything and just be like, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy the fact that I've grown so much, right? Like that also is very important for moving identities.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
When it comes to identity, as much as you're talking about making the entire yearly salary into 1 month,
yeah,
you reached there because you were willing to sit and feel the emotional pain of September 2022 when the money did not show up.
yeah. And many more months, if I
Any
may
many more
add.
yeah, yeah, that's just one example, and many more months and
Yeah,
many more moments when you were so
yeah,
sure that someone is going to say yes and they say no. Someone
yeah.
said yes, and on the call they were yes. In the message they are texting and they are like, no, we cannot afford, or they just ghost you.
Ah,
Those
yeah,
moments
yeah.
build you.
Yes, yes. Oh
we
my
we think,
God,
I
yes,
used to
yes.
think like, why the hell, why this is happening to me, like why is this all
Yeah,
happening? But then we
yeah,
forget that this is part and parcel of what we signed up for. I just
yeah,
wrote a caption yesterday, it just came with one simple sentence:
yeah,
if you are willing to own a business, you
yeah.
need to also be willing to um, own the unwanted outcomes in the business,
Oh my
because
God,
not
that
not
is so true.
everything, yeah, because not everything that you do will give you the result that you expect, and you need to
Yes,
have that emotional tolerance, the
yes,
emotional
yes. The
capacity to
resilience,
feel,
yes,
the
yes,
resilience to feel
yes.
that. And which is why I think, this entire coaching plays such a big role, because you don't have to go through all
Yeah,
this alone. I cannot imagine going through any of this alone.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
having
yeah,
someone to just remind me that this is normal. This is
yeah,
entrepreneurship. It happens. You're not
yeah,
working month by month, and you're not
yeah,
even working yearly. You need to have the infinite goal. Think about Amazon or any other company who grew so quick and fast and huge. They were not fucking thinking about what we are making monthly. They had
yeah,
huge vision for their businesses,
yeah,
for their goals. Currently,
yeah.
I'm reading this book by Phil Knight,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the Nike one,
Right.
and damn, that person, it
Yeah,
all just started with one crazy idea
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
a long vision.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I don't know, I don't know who believes in this idea, but I do. I see it
yeah,
happening. I'm fucking going for it,
yeah,
no
yeah,
matter
yeah.
what it takes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think so, one of the things that I like to do is also intentionally build that resilience, like intentionally seek those
Yes.
unwanted outcomes that you were talking about. Like I have another story. I had like this funk that I was going through. This is, I think, 2024. And I think we spoke at that time. Like,
Yeah.
okay, for anyone who's listening, Sonia and I have been, we have never met in real life, but we have been like
We are
business
soon meeting in
besties.
real life. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are soon
We're
meeting in
soon
real
meeting.
life.
Yeah. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
But I think we had talked about that. And I had this, I was in this weird funk, right? And nothing was moving. And then I just decided one day that, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do something really weird. So I went on a rejection challenge.
Amazing. I love that.
I decided
Rejection
I'm
challenge.
gonna collect like 40 no's in 20 days.
Amazing.
So the thing is, I I thought I was just getting rejected anyway. So I was like, let us
Hmm.
make a game out of it and let's see what happens. I wasn't signing clients. I was going through a funk. What I didn't realize was that if I had to get 40 rejections, there were actually some people who did not reject me. There were actually
Yeah.
some people, like I had to talk to like some 50, 55 people. because 10 of them or 15 of them, I don't remember the exact number, actually said yes to get on a call with me. And
Exactly.
six
That
of
is the
those
myth.
actually, yeah, and six of them actually ended up signing one-on-one with me. And that ended being my highest month in business till that point. Because again, I was willing to put myself through that discomfort and just like be like, I'm going to take something that I feel very uncomfortable with, something that
Yeah.
makes me question my own worth, right? Which is getting rejected. And it doesn't feel good, right? You're sitting
I
across someone. Yeah.
exactly. This happened. I'll tell you the story of
Yeah.
last year itself. So I
Right.
was in one group where we were challenged to make 25 lakhs in 2 months. And
Right.
I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. I haven't ever made it. Like, at that time I was averaging around my highest month was 6.5.
Right.
So 20, if you have 25, the calculation is around 12.5 in 1 month. So you hit
Right.
25 in 2 months. So
Mm.
1 month passed and I calculated it was just 5 lakhs. And I was like, how the hell is this going to happen? And something about me, I really work best under pressure and in competitive
Right.
environment. When someone
Yeah.
is giving me a challenge, I'm like, no, I'm fucking going for it.
Right.
So that was the challenge, and I was like, how do I create money? That was
Mm.
the moment where the
Mm.
identity of me shifted to from a coach to someone who can create money on her
Create
will.
money. I love that. I love
Yes,
that.
that word really felt
Yeah.
in theory until then. Like I had the idea that yeah, you can
Yeah.
create money,
Yeah.
but I had never experimented on that. I had never made it
Yeah.
into the actual reality.
Right.
So what I did was it's only 1 month. If I want to win this challenge, I need to create money, and money
Yeah.
is created by giving value. So I want to give outrageous value that people cannot say no to, and
Yeah.
hence I make money. So what I did,
Right.
I already had my existing clients and community. I offered them a next level offer, a next level
Mm.
program. So it's
Right.
like now I'm upgrading, so let me take you to that upgraded level of program.
Right.
I
Yeah.
created that program on Tuesday evening. On Wednesday, I announced it. I was like, I'm just having 10 slots for this. It's 1
Right.
lakh each. We'll have 2 months together. Let's go.
Right.
And in 5 days, it got booked out. That
Wow.
was the
Yeah.
quickest and
Yeah.
easiest money I
Yeah.
had ever made. The program
It's
was not
not though. It's
ready.
not. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
use my coach's hat, okay? Because I
yes.
think when we're talking about our own results, it's very easy to say that that's the quickest and
Hmm.
easiest money, but it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it didn't happen in that 5 days. It's because you have been putting in my September 22s, you
Yes.
have had multiple of those. You have been learning and creating and experimenting and like just putting yourself out there, even though people are not responding, right? Like
Yeah,
I think that's also a big part of, if we were to start talking about visibility and like getting your business in front of people, I think that's also something that a lot of us don't realize, that we look at someone and we think that, oh,
yeah.
Sonia is an overnight success. Oh my
No,
God,
no,
this
which
is
is why it's so
Salme. She made,
important.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
so important to look into the journey because sometimes we don't know
yes,
we are comparing our beginning to someone's
yes,
middle.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And
yeah,
we also sometimes don't give credit to the work that we have put in. Right? Like
exactly.
it's a
Yeah.
conversation that I was having with my mom, and I was invited to be a speaker at a company for their Women's Day celebration. And we were just talking, and she attended some corporate trainings back in the early 2000s, and she's like, I was so impressed by those women, and I can't believe that you are one of those women. And then she asked me how much I charge, and I told her the number, and she's like, oh my God, you charge this much for just 1 hour? And I'm like, I don't charge this much for 1 hour. I charge this much for
Exactly.
like 6 years of experience, of all the hours that I've
Yeah,
spent in learning my craft and honing my craft and coaching people, maybe coaching people for free, writing my heart out and like just perfecting what I am creating. Right. So
exactly.
yeah, that's
We
very
we are
important.
standing on the debris of our dead selves.
Yeah. And
who
it's so
made us
poetic.
who we
It's
are
so
today.
poetic.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And there were fucking times when nothing seemed to be working, when I cried my heart out, and there were times when I told literally my husband, I was like, this is so heavy. This is really painful.
I have
I
done
don't
that
know.
too. I
I
have
don't know
done
if I
that
can
too.
continue this. Like there were days, and then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
realized the next day, maybe I was about to have periods. I
Oh
was
my
going.
God, yes. Oh my God, yes.
So I was
For
like,
me,
okay,
that's every
Sonia.
time. Every time I think that I want to shut my business and start something else or do something else or do a job, invariably in the next 2 days, I will start bleeding.
Exactly, exactly. And which is why, I wanted this call after I stopped bleeding
Me
or before
too.
it. I was
Me
like, I
too.
need to
Yeah.
have the headspace where I'm thinking
Yeah.
clearly and I'm
Yes.
fully here. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Which is
Okay,
why
cool.
running a business as a woman is such a roller coaster ride,
It
emotionally, mentally,
is. It
yeah,
is.
even physically. Yeah.
And I think this is exactly why what you and I have to offer, right? Like we want to talk about what the visible paid. Soon we will talk about it. But I think that's why this is important. It's because a lot of business that you see or that you study, that you are taught when you read books, when you read media, when you listen to podcasts, I think it's so created for the masculine. It's so created with this idea in mind that you are going to have the same kind of energy, the same dosage of energy every single day, every single week for like the entire year. And that's not how women work. And
Yeah.
that's why, people like you and me and people that we serve are so important because we
Yeah.
want to be able to honor our energies. We want to be able to honor where we come from and how our bodies are moving. And yeah, and not just burn out in the process of being like, I am gonna be at it every single day since 5 a.m. till whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you don't have to become someone who is just locking herself in a room without a window and just putting in
Yeah,
10-hour work a day and
yeah,
producing the result.
yeah,
There is
yeah.
discipline, there is devotion, there is commitment.
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
saying that, just
of
sit
course.
and manifest and it will land on your lap. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
There is
yeah,
a way to doing it without losing yourself,
absolutely,
without, yeah, without
absolutely.
wanting to give it all up and then losing the part of you that doesn't resonate with what you have built. Like you have built this giant monster, now you don't
Yeah,
relate to it. You don't want
yeah.
your business to feel like that.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Awesome. Let's kind of change the direction a little bit and
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
talk about visibility.
yeah.
I think because, and I think that's what we were
It
talking
was
about.
a huge deal for me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really have some important stories on visibility because that
Let's
was
go.
something, yeah,
Yeah,
because that was something that I truly struggled with.
yeah,
Um, so I started being on Instagram from 2016. I started with writing poems. I was
right.
just writing poems. Back then, Instagram was just pictures and fun. I was
Yeah,
just posting it and okay, it's done. And I started building audience and followers through that. People started
yeah,
liking it and all.
yeah,
And I did not fucking show my face on stories, on any post, nowhere. I was this ghost writer having a
right.
pseudonym and posting it all, very anonymous kind of person
Yeah,
until 2022. Because in 2022, I realized if I want to build a coaching business, I
yeah,
might have to actually tell my name, show my face
yeah,
for once and all.
yeah,
So it was a huge fucking deal for me to just be visible and to be able to accept the fact that people would see me. That
yeah,
that was so
yeah.
terrifying.
Yes, yes. And I think that happens a lot because of how we are raised also, right?
Yeah,
Because I think somehow people just think that there is this unwritten permission slip that people feel they have to start making comments on you,
yeah.
right? Comments
And
on
more
what you're
than them
talking.
making comments,
Yeah.
your brain starts commenting on you, your looks, your body, the way you
Yes.
speak, the tone, the way you look.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Even before
Yes.
you give permission to others, like your
Yeah.
brain in itself start creating those thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you add an element of, okay, I want to be someone who talks my unhinged truth. And then that just starts clashing with your conditioning, your identity as a good girl, your identity as
Ah, who the fuck
a
am I to
daughter, a
talk about
wife, or
this?
yeah, yeah, like whatever roles that you're playing. And then it's just like I remember when I started. So my business, I don't think it was very different from yours, but my business started as a blog. So it was I was not on Instagram. I had a blog and I had a
Yeah,
mailing
I
list.
had a blog too, yes.
Yeah, and that's how the business kind of started. And I remember when I moved from blogging to coaching, and I took an entire year to get myself certified and all of that, right? And when I moved to coaching, I remember someone who I considered a decent friend, just send me a message saying, "Oh, you're charging for life coaching. I thought that's going to be a service. I thought it's going to be something that you don't charge." Right? And then, so you already have this, like you said, there's already a narrative of, oh, how do I state my prices? How do I tell people that I'm selling this? And then when people come and say and hold the mirror against you, again, it comes back to that resilience, that
Yeah,
inner strength and belief and faith that you have to build, that, you know what, the vision that I have deserves my complete attention and devotion and discipline and everything that I've got, be it messy action, be it whatever kind of action, but it deserves that chance that it needs.
yeah, yeah. And visibility plays such an important role to
Yeah,
this because
yeah,
unless and until you are willing to be seen, people cannot see you. You want people to see you, you have to be willing to be seen and seen in
yes,
your most unfiltered, unhinged self. That
yes,
was the second layer to it,
yeah,
when
yeah.
I really love cursing and I love using the word fuck just
Oh,
as
me
you.
too. Me
And
too. My
yeah,
podcast is called You're Aligned as Fuck Life. So,
yeah, exactly, exactly. I hosted an event last year called Fuck Yes, and I had weird comments on that, really weird
yeah,
comments on that.
right. I
Yeah,
I
so
get
coming,
I get very weirded out when I walk into corporate rooms because I also do a lot of corporate coaching. And when I walk into those rooms and people ask me what is your podcast, and I'm like, You're Aligned AF Live. Like I don't know. Anyway, please,
yeah,
please go on.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So I used to have people very professional commenting on my post and coming to me and giving me unsolicited as advices on in my DM telling you seem like a nice, polite girl. Why do you think you have to use word fuck so
yeah,
much in your content?
yeah, yeah. Oh my
And
God.
then
People,
and
yeah,
look at the polarity. I also had client who reach out to me and say, just because you use this word, I found my coach. Now
yeah.
that is what
Yeah.
and who our work is for.
And I think, thank you for bringing this up because I think this is the key. People, when you're in the online space, you'll hear a lot of jargon around be your authentic self, like be completely yourself. But I feel that at the end of the day, it is crucial to be who you are because that acts as an automatic filter, right? Like if someone is searching for a podcast in the personal growth space, in the identity space, and they find something called your aligned as fuck life and they get offended by it, they're not my people. Right. And
Exactly.
I think visibility is something that we have to curate for ourselves, for our brand. Visibility also has to be something that is aligned to who we are and not necessarily X amount of numbers of followers or X people in your, you know what I mean? All of us
Yeah.
have to decide what is visibility for us.
See, there is a difference between visibility and virality, and we
Yeah.
confuse it. You
Yes.
don't,
Yes.
yeah, you don't need more followers. You don't need even more number of clients to reach to the income goal that you have, which is why I really love playing with numbers. I
Right.
reached 1 crore mark just with 100 people. That is it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
need like
Yeah.
thousands of people to pay you right
Yeah.
now. What you
Yeah.
truly need is one person at a time who sees who you are, who
Yeah.
believes in the work that you do, and who is like, yeah, fuck yes, this is my coach.
Yeah.
She is my
Yeah.
dream coach. I've been waiting for someone like her. I want to work with her.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sense is
yeah,
felt when you don't
absolutely.
edit yourself, when you don't shame the part of you that truly wants to outshine. Thinking about someone
Yes.
who will flinch on your shine, you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you think
They're not for
what
you. Yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah,
for you,
yeah.
they're not for your people. Yeah, think
They're
about
not,
your
yeah,
people
yeah.
who you are here to serve,
Yeah,
who
absolutely.
you are.
And I
Yeah.
think, you know, this happens to a lot of my clients also, right? Like, oh, I want to create content, but then I don't know, like I have only like 200 followers, I have only 300 followers, whatever, right?
Yeah,
Like
the first thing is, yeah, you
yeah.
don't create content for followers.
Also, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want you to finish that thought, and then I'll give
Yeah,
my
exactly. When I started, or if anyone comes to me with this question, I mean, you're
yeah,
not creating content for them. The first
yeah,
and foremost thing, you're creating content for yourself to know who the
yeah.
fuck you are, to explore yourself, to put
Yes,
yourself out there, to
yes,
understand your
yes.
thoughts and thinking, and then the person who relates, who resonates, will come to you. This is how clients come to us. Yeah,
Absolutely. And I remember one thing that Simone, like you and I both have had Simone as a coach. And I remember this one
yeah,
thing she says is, you don't write, if you don't know who it's going to be helpful for, think about if it's going to be helpful for just one person. And sometimes that one person is just you. Like you're writing for yourself because it
exactly,
helps you. And that's it. That's what's important, right? Like, and
exactly.
I think visibility, like if we objectively look at it, right, like at a human species, like you said, in 2016 Instagram was a very different space. I
Yeah,
started being on Instagram in, I think, 2019 or something. Again, it was a very, very different space. So what it is today, what we look at visibility as today, is just what has happened in the last 10 years, 12 years, 15 years to the human civilization. Before that, visibility was something very different, right? So I think at the core of your visibility is also that identity, that
it
my
is.
work matters, that my audience is, I have had only 1400 followers, I think 1450 or whatever, I don't even know, followers for donkey years. Again, I've not grown, but the thing is my business is still grown. What you said, in 100 people you have created 1 crores. My business is still grown because my number of followers do not mean the number of money that I have in my bank account. I have
Exactly.
had instances where I met someone in an elevator and we just started talking. And then he invited me and my husband for over for drinks, and then we started chatting, and he asked me what I do. And I come home and told my husband that I think he's interested in getting coached from me. And then a few weeks later, I get a call from his HR person, and I landed like the biggest corporate contract of my life. So visibility is also who you are being, who you are embodying when you are not showing your face on Instagram or writing emails or doing the things that you're supposed to be doing for your business.
Exactly,
It's
exactly,
about being rooted in that conviction that I am this coach. Like I said, I'm an identity alchemist. I help you fucking alchemize your identity and get you to the next level. So it doesn't matter where you are at. It doesn't matter what you do. That's what I do as a person. Like the business and me are not really different.
yeah, exactly. You carry yourself, you carry that identity
Yes.
everywhere you go. I'm
Yeah.
the coach, I'm here to help you, bring it on.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that level of conviction, that level of confidence that you have in you, it
Yeah.
comes through identity. It doesn't come through any affirmation or any work that you
Yes.
sit and do in your journal. It comes when it's cemented inside of you. And you know, when we talk about shifting identities,
Mm-hmm.
action play really huge role in this. Like you can
Yes.
keep saying to yourself
Yes.
that I am this kind of person, but if your action doesn't match that identity, you are just
Mm.
bullshitting your brain. Your
And your
brain is
brain is
never
never
going
going to
to,
believe. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I think we
it's
were going to
never
say the
going,
same thing.
it's never going to accept it, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
as in relationship, your partner
Yeah.
could be telling
Yeah.
you that they love you, they respect you, but their actions say otherwise. You're not going to believe them. And
Yes.
that's the same thing you're
Yes.
doing with your brain, with identity. You can be
Yes.
writing every single day and meditating on this identity part, But if
Yeah.
your actions are not in alignment to who you want to become or the identity shift you are looking for, it's not
Yeah.
going to work.
And that's, I think that's the biggest problem that I have, especially with this manifestation space,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
as someone who's worked as a manifestation, I am a manifestation coach, but what is manifestation? Manifestation is switching identities, right?
exactly.
But so many times it is sold to us as an idea of, okay, say this affirmation. I see some bullshit reels, man. Like, write an affirmation 33 times with a red pen. I don't even know. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Right? If you do not cement it with aligned action, with messy action, with bold action, whatever that looks like for you, it's not going to happen because everything, including clarity, follows action. Right? So you have
Exactly.
to show up for yourself.
Yeah, just as simple as wanting to cook something. Like you cannot think your mind to cooking something. You
Yeah.
actually have to go buy the grocery and look at the recipe and just put your hands into work. You have to
Yeah.
do that thing,
Yes.
and you have to do that from the space of I'm this fucking chef and I know how to make this delicious recipe.
Yes.
That
Yes.
that is how you
Yes.
cement identity. And yeah, it happens
Absolutely.
so many times in businesses. And
Yeah.
especially nowadays, when the term of soft CEO, soft girl
Yes.
is so
Yes.
trending,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know why there is all and nothing thinking, black and white, that either
Yes.
you can
Yes.
be a very girl boss, very hardcore CEO, or you can be
Boss
soft.
babe. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, there is a middle way. And
Absolutely.
soft, yeah. And soft doesn't mean you are just sitting around and sipping margaritas and the payment
Or
notifications are
matcha.
landing in.
Or
Eh,
matcha. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now there's matcha. Exactly. It doesn't work
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those people who are showing that they have
Yeah.
done the work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing works unless you do. Nothing works
Exactly.
unless you do. Like, that's the core of it, right? Okay, so I want to bring again our conversation back to the event that
Yeah, let's talk
we
about
are
that.
hosting. Okay, so for everyone who's listening, Sonia and I are collaborating for the first of many, many, many times. We are hosting our event in Mumbai on 4th of April called,
Worthy, visible, and paid.
yes. So
Because
that's
we
what we are going
want
to
you
be.
to know that you're worthy of all the visibility and of fucking getting paid. Wanted to
Yes.
use word fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so
So,
so essentially what we are going to be doing is we are going to take you through two parts. The first part is going to be spent with me, where we are going to take your current identity. We're going to first take a stock of who you believe you are. A lot of times, again, our brain loves to bullshit there, okay? So we're going to take an honest stock of where you are at right now, and then we are going to take a stock of what identity it is that you want to embody to get to the next level of your business. And I'm going to teach you my signature framework of identity shifting. And that's what we're going to be doing in the first part. In the second
yeah.
part,
Yeah, so now that you already are in that high level identity, the identity of where you want to go is already cemented. The next part, I dive deeper into entrepreneur identity, bringing you the understanding of what truly entrepreneurship is. And then we dive deeper into the visibility, the content,
yes,
the very core
yes,
nitty-gritty, the strategy aspect of content, the energetics that play in role when you want to be visible, when you want your aligned clients to know that she is the fucking dream coach for me. I want your aligned clients to be so sure the moment they see your post, they need to be sure that I am hiring this girl. That is my intention. And I want you to get
absolutely.
paid. Every single thing that we do, yeah,
Yes,
needs to get you paid. So that is what we'll be
yes,
doing. I'll teach you the sales. I'll teach you how to go online and sell without feeling ashamed or without having these all sneaky thoughts in your brain that says you're too greedy. You
yes,
should not be charging this. Blah blah blah. We are just not
yes.
like responding to that. We are cutting through the noise and going fucking in and selling our heart out.
And this is going to be a ready reckoner, a toolkit that you're going to take away with you,
Yeah.
with which you can keep dismantling these bullshit over and over again. So it's not going to be
Yeah.
like, oh, you attended this workshop and then it's done. It's not. It's something that you're going to take away with you. And we
Yeah.
guarantee you, if you keep using that and applying it in your daily life, within months, you will see that in your business. Within weeks,
Yeah.
sometimes you will see that in
Exactly.
your business.
There is going to be a before and after
And
of
after,
you.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
after this event. There will be a before you
absolutely.
and an after you. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here's what we're gonna do. We are putting all the details in the show
Yeah.
notes. We also have our Instagrams tagged in the show notes. So if you want to grab a spot, we already have one spot taken, right? We have
Yeah.
only 11 more left. So if you want to grab those spots, DM us and we will get you all signed up and get you
Exactly.
ready for the next level.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I
Yes, thank you.
absolutely loved our conversation. It was so unhinged, unplanned. None of this was written anywhere, and I love unscripted things. So thank you so
Yes,
much
yes.
for being here, for having this conversation with me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to see what beautiful businesses come out of the session that we are going to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
I just
here is
cannot
to,
wait. The energy of in-person event is outstanding, out of this world. I cannot
yes,
wait to meet
yes,
people in person, to
yes.
meet these women in person, to literally see those dreams dreaming in their eyes and empowering them to get to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here's
All
to
right.
an upgraded identity and upgraded visibility and getting paid a fuck ton of money to do what we do. All right, we will see you guys
See you
later.
next time. Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.